Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. So I'm going to Scott Selections here for Thursday, October 19th. For again, today's play of the day. Quick recap what happened yesterday. We had a pretty mediocre day, starting off with the bad news. Did he lose the play from yesterday? As we ended up having the Liberty minus 4.5 and minus 115 on points bet. Led by 12 at home in an elimination game in the second half against a team that was missing two starters, and the Liberty fell apart. They lost the game outright, and it was a pretty brutal collapse to actually watch. Brianna Stewart was terrible. I think she was 3 of 17. But either way, the point is the Liberty got eliminated. Aces won the title. Congrats to them. But a really bad second half collapse by them. So either way, that was the bad part of yesterday. The bright side is that we had a play from a couple days ago that finally cashed, as we had a tennis play between Seaboth Wild and Safulin. We had Seaboth Wild to not win a set at minus 144 on FanDuel. That cashed easily as Safulin beat him comfortably. So overall, a mediocre day. Look for a winning day here on Thursday. And for today's play of the day, going to baseball, going to look at Game 3 of the NLCS between the Phillies and the Diamondbacks, taking place at around 5 p.m. Eastern Time. For this game, to go with the Phillies money line at minus 128 on Bet Online. Time recording of 1 a.m. Eastern Time. Covering why we're going to take the Phillies money line in this spot. First reason, the Phillies have been one of the best playoff teams up to this point, as you can just look at how they've been performing. They lost one game so far, and it was a game they probably should have won, as they blew a massive lead in the Game 2 matchup against the Braves. But the Phillies have been dominant. The offense has been great, and I think the Diamondbacks are simply put just outmatched in the spot. Diamondbacks are also the home team, but they have not been good at home recently, as they have lost 3 of their last 4 home games. A reminder that even though this is Game 3 of the NLCS, the Diamondbacks have only played 1 home game in the entire playoffs, beat the Brewers on the road, ended up winning 2 games against the Dodgers on the road. So the point is they've only played 1 home game, and I'm not exactly sure how much home field's going to matter, since I do think the Phillies are the much better team and the much more experienced team. From what we saw in the first 2 games, it really looked like Arizona was just not ready for this moment, and I do think that's going to be an issue in this matchup. Now, Philly's a better lineup. I already mentioned it, but Schwarber's been incredible. Harper's been great. Turner's been great. Castellanos has been great. The entire lineup's been mashing, and I do think that's going to result in a lot of difficult spots for Arizona's pitching staff. And to look at the actual pitching matchup here, I think the Phillies also have a better starting pitcher. You have Ranger Suarez on the mound, and so far in the playoffs, he's been good. 8 and 2/3, a 1.08 ER, 1.04 ERA. So he's been solid. I know that the length can be a bit iffy at times, but I think he should go at least 4 or 5 in this matchup. He was also very good on the road in the regular season. 59 innings pitched, a 2.75 ERA. So I do have faith in him to perform well in this spot. Meanwhile, you have Fod pitching for Arizona. So far in the playoffs, he had 1 pretty good start and 1 below average start. But in general, 7 innings pitched and a 3.86 ERA. But at home, he was really bad in the regular season. 46 innings pitched, a 6.46 ERA. We saw what the Phillies lineup did to Gallen and to Kelly. And I think, once again, Fod's in line to potentially get shelled in this matchup. Not to mention Arizona's bullpen, which also got shelled in Game 2. But if you want to look at the actual head-to-head meetings, Philly's done well against Arizona, as the Phillies have won each of the last 5 meetings. But simply put, minus 128 just feels a bit short to me. I know Arizona is a team that is pretty happy to be here, but I think you're looking at the overall talent disparity in the lineups and the pitching staff, and you can just tell that there might be a sweep in this series. It would not shock me. I thought going into the series, Philly would sweep, and I'm going to stick with that prediction because I do think that Philly is the much better team. And once again, there's a little bit of unfinished business with them, and there's a bit of a chip on their shoulder because they did lose in the World Series last year. I think Philly comes out, gets out to another early lead. I think Suarez does enough to get the job done, and I do trust Philly's bullpen more than Arizona's. But give me Philly winning this game somewhere in the realm of 5-3, if I had to guess. But I think Philly gets the job done, and I do think this price is too cheap. So play that once again here for Thursday, October 19th is going to be on the Phillies money line at minus 128 on Bet Online. Bye, everyone.